Oh yes, legends. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing absolutely fantastic. Make sure to destroy the like button on your way in if you do enjoy the content, and we'll go through the comment section and check out Bitcoin, because Bitcoin just ever so slightly tapped the range lows of the last few days. It did actually get below the Sunday lows, getting a little bounce of just under $2,000. We'll be analyzing the situation here all together, guys. So make sure to smash it up, legends, okay? Much love to everybody. Let's go through the comment section, say hello to the community, and we'll dive in through Bitcoin and Ethereum. Most importantly, guys, we could take a look at some altcoins for sure, right? Is the market dead? It's over, right? This is it, guys. Make sure to collect your profits that you've been buying in the last few years, mainly on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, because the other cryptos, whew, maybe if you bought Zcash had a pretty nice pump in the last few weeks. Anyway, let's go right away. We are here to look for day trading setups. We're looking for trading scenarios. I am actually feeling bullish a lot on Ethereum, especially, guys. You guys know that I'm very bullish on Ethereum. I think Ethereum will outperform Bitcoin, especially when Bitcoin is rangy, which is kind of, we've had the drop already. How are you guys feeling? Let me know in the comment section. We're going to discuss Bitcoin. We have to do two charts, guys. We have to do spot and we have to do futures, because we got a major wick here in the middle, which is a bit disturbing. We need to take into consideration some other exchanges such as Coinbase. Let's go through comment section. We'll talk about the most important levels. We had on Coinbase, we did actually get beneath, without counting this wick. We've been trading in a range now for, almost 5 days, since Saturday, basically, after the dead cat bounce that we formed on Friday. We're literally in a range, right? We do have the range lows right over here and the range highs. We did create a little SFP on spot on Coinbase. It did actually go down a few $100, even $1,000 for a swing failure pattern from the lows of Sunday. I have to say it's an acceptable aggressive long entry. We just barely touched it on Bybit, okay? On Bybit, we just barely touched it. And what can we say? If you are a sniper trader and you like these kind of trades, which they, I have to say they are. I used to like these kind of trades a lot, but I was many hours in front of the computer a few years ago. These were the kind of trades that I would jump in on a market order, get a bounce to the local highs. It's a nice bounce of $2,000. That's it. I would have been taking profit on this movement up. Just barely touching the lows of Sunday. But taking into consideration other exchanges such as Coinbase, we did actually create a little swing failure pattern of the lows of the range. So it was the best intraday scalp opportunity for a long. Protect position, take profits at these local highs. We are downtrending. I would prefer for the lows on Coinbase to be hit, guys. There is, I'm going to share some analysis today. This doesn't look bullish. I'm sorry. I don't want to be the bear here. I'm actually bullish on the higher time frame, but locally, this bounce, it's just not bullish, guys. It's not bullish. It's not a bullish bounce. We have a 3-wave move to the upside on the dead cat bounce from Friday. This is not a bullish bounce, I have to say. It's very, very corrective. And obviously, if you do have a very corrective range after a bounce, probabilities are low for us to successfully break out from here without testing the lows. It had to be said, guys. It had to be said, and it's been said here. Okay, so anybody that is extremely bullish, just be aware that locally in this range of the last few days, probabilities, despite coming up to these highs or to these highs, okay, which are interesting for the same reason, guys. In a range, it's a swing failure pattern range. It's a swing failure pattern game, right? Test the lows of the range, swing failure pattern. This little high of the range of yesterday could create a little swing failure pattern. This high of the range also, right? It's a swing failure pattern game when you're in a range. It's always been like that. And it hasn't changed till it breaks, right? At some point it's going to break, but I have to say, with this local range, there is higher probability that the lows, at least on Coinbase, are going to be hit. Likely going to be hit. I'm not saying it's going to be hit, because then the price reverses from here and goes to all-time high, and then I'll have to come out on YouTube and say, guys, I'm sorry, I was completely wrong. But there's nothing bullish about this movement. Nothing bullish about this dead cat bounce. This is like the classic dead cat bounce that does, roll over and claims the low at some point after several days. I do believe that, that's what we are looking at here. So just because, considering Elliot Wave theory, there's nothing bullish about this bounce. It's very three wavy, and we come down to the lows. That means that this is likely going to be a sideways WXY, and at some point in the near future, there's just higher probability in claiming this low, which is going to be very interesting for looking for longs later on once that low is claimed. But overall, we actually got some pretty aggressive long positions entering on Bybit at these lows of the range, which is pretty crazy. You had 20 million just a couple of days ago, 20, 16, 11 here, and obviously we got that wick down. Too many longs entering here at the bottom of this zone. Lots and lots of longs. People are happy to long down here, because I think what everybody believes is that that's it. The flush has happened. It's moon mission from here, right? Everybody's liquidated. Why? Is there any reason to go lower? The big aggressive drop that's got us into extreme fear has happened. So shouldn't we really consider getting a massive reversal soon? Well, there's lots of longs entering at the lows here, and that's not good. That means that, people are anticipating that we are looking for a massive reversal. The big move down, buy the fear, they say, right? Buy the extreme fear, which we have been here throughout the weekend after Friday's drop. Extreme fears for buying, right? Well, I think a lot of people know that, at least on Bybit. Some other exchanges have been longing also. I have to say, we've been seeing some major bounces throughout the CVD, throughout many exchanges, even Bybit US dollar tether, big pumps here, while you are creating lower highs, and you're creating slightly higher highs here on Bybit US dollar tether, perpetual. So lower highs on price action, high highs on CVD. There's some aggressive longs entering here, which is not good, right? This is a game that not everybody makes money, so it's kind of bearish that too many longs are entering down here. And when we consider Elliot Wave theory, this bounce is not bullish, unfortunately, guys. So I am really waiting patiently for those lows to be hit in the next coming days, possibly, right? So let's go through the comment section. A little bit of rangy scenario, right? Just a little bit of, we need to talk probabilities, guys. We need to talk probabilities. How probable is it to hit this high or this low? Which one comes first? Which one comes second, right? And then come to the conclusion of mapping the situation and get a trading setup ready. Afternoon, Daniel. Much love to you, brother. Let me know if you guys can hear me. You can see me. I think everything's good. I think I fixed my Tradingview on browser. It was very laggy and slow. Hopefully it's going to be better today. Daniel Singleton, Staffer One, my man. Much love to you, brother. Okay. Appreciate you being around. Also, Daniel, of course. All moderators. El Profesor is back. It's been a bit slow trading wise, guys. It's been a bit slow trading wise. This would have been the best option to get into a long today, but it was just too quick. You need to be quick on these ones. You need to be very quick. Take into consideration Coinbase, other exchanges. Did we sweep the lows of Sunday? Boom, sniper trader, bam, bam, get the bounce. sweep the highs. It's actually, this movement seems super small, guys. The reason why it looks small is because of the major drop that we had on Friday. But hey, this is a $2,000 pump. I mean, come on. This is a good scalp. This is a $2,000 plus pump, which is pretty interesting. What I mean, this was an okay SFP, guys. We are downtrending. We are downtrending. This local one right there. Move down, little pump, right? Down, rangy, move down, move up. Kind of interesting to kind of SFP the lows. I do think we're likely going to go lower, guys. Based on the explanation that I've given at the beginning of the stream, right? There's a few things, too many longs entering throughout many exchanges. You got high highs on CVD. I mean, we have tested the lows already, which is the CVD target locally here. But still, you know, there's just too many longs. Too many longs that have entered here. We've swept the lows of the range. Okay, was that it? Was that it already? Regardless, that too many longs entering here. This bounce is not a kind of a bounce that I would expect. You know, a big continuation up here. So I think shorting is in your advantage at certain levels. Okay, at certain levels, we're going to discuss some levels here. But the best option today to get into a good level of a trade, you guys know that, right? It's an SFP of the lows of the range, right? Since Sunday, that would have been your best option just for a little scalp. So let's get some more trading setups here ready on the stream. A little bit of Elliot Wave theory. Let's go through comment section, say hello to the beautiful community first of all, and then we'll dive in through Bitcoin mainly, guys. I am bullish still on Bitcoin. Locally, a little bit bearish. I do think 107K has a good chance to be claimed, guys. It's probably going to take a few days to get down there. It might be today, it might be tomorrow, Friday. Friday's been, you know, last Friday was very bearish. Will we get another bearish Friday just to claim that low? I think there is a good chance. It could be tomorrow, could be today, could be tomorrow. Let's see. Will we bounce? If we do bounce, I'm going to talk about the levels of resistance. Okay, it's mainly Elliot Wave theory. Apart from that, there's a lot of longs entering down here. Okay, lots of longs are happy to understand that this is the flush and we're going to reverse from here and go to Valhalla. But considering Elliot Wave theory, this bounce is not bullish, guys. I have to say. It's a 3-wave bounce, and then you got this, claiming this low. An ABC flat here, too long. It's too long for the bounce here to be wave 1, wave 2 in a flat. You've claimed the low again. It's just not a bullish structure. And when you consider simple technical analysis, where you have a move down, you got a bit of a flaggy situation, well, you expect the lows to be claimed, right? So it does look like that. It does look like this is going to be the scenario. And if we do bounce, we need to talk about the strongest levels of confluence to consider a short and consider a long at lower eventually. And I'm not interested in long today. This scalp long was acceptable. Just on Bybit, we barely scratched the lows, barely scratched it. Not an easy, quick, it's just a scalp sniper. It's a sniper trade. You know, if you're not here while it happens, the price is gonna pump in just a couple of minutes and it's not worth longing in the middle, right? It's just not worth it. Not worth it. Risk reward is actually going down here aggressively. So unless you snipe at the low, also on Coinbase, right, getting the recovery, it's not worth longing in this zone. So we'll be talking about levels of resistance, levels of interest that I have that are outside of the range, and potentially we'll get another opportunity. Of course, there's opportunities every day or almost every single day, right? So we just need to be waiting patient. Sometimes you wait. This would have been an acceptable long. I didn't catch it. I was distracted. I was out and about. Anyway, let's go. Nico, Soapy, how are you doing, brother? 5th on the like button. Absolute legend right over there. Much love to you, Nico. Okay, thanks for joining the stream. And yeah, hopefully we're going to get some good scenarios, good levels, good education. As always, I want to do a bit of a Q&A session, answer some questions. You can ask me whatever, trading wise, portfolio wise, other assets to take a look at and analyze. What do I think? I'm here for you guys. 88k incoming, says Jenna Dieter. Wow. Not sure if we're going to go that low. I don't think so. The probabilities of going down to 88k are low for the moment. They are low. And the main reason why they are low, we're going to have to see a reaction here if we do take out 107k low. Because the idea of having a big move and having a bigger move down after that one, it's low probability anyway, okay? When you have such an aggressive move down, and this has been one of the most aggressive moves down that we've seen in Bitcoin history, $20,000 on some exchanges in 24 hours, the probabilities in getting such a lengthy move down in the next 1 to 2 weeks is low probability. It doesn't usually happen. So of course you can have an expanding fifth wave. That is, without a doubt, a scenario. 1, 2, 1, 2. You got your third, you got your fourth, and maybe your fifth wave is just going to be extremely aggressive, right? And you just have an expanding fifth wave that maybe takes us down to, sub 100k. We need to go level by level, right? Level by level. But I think that there's a good chance that we do not break down successfully from 107k. Okay. So I am expecting, some kind of a reversal with either a 4-5 or a 4-5, right? And, finally get that reversal bounce at some point. And I don't see a successful breakdown. Okay. And it all has to do with probabilities, eh? Can it happen? Absolutely. But as mentioned, when you get such an aggressive move down, to get such aggressive move down, or even more powerful later beneath that low, it doesn't usually happen. So anyway, let's go through the comment section. Of course it can happen, but I'm not leaning on 88k incoming in the next coming weeks. Okay, that's my opinion. That will really put a spanner in the works. Jenna Data, yeah. Much love, Mike. Nico, Paul is in the house. Let's go, legends. Smashing up the like button. Got almost 500 people watching here. Don't forget to hit the like button, says Maku. Much love, everybody. Alt season cancelled, says Boy Pal Dog. Pretty much so, right? Pretty much so. Or maybe the best buying opportunity. Is it the best buying opportunity? They say buy the fear, right? Buy the dip, buy the brutal dips. Especially when they are brutal and they take us to extreme fear and we're shaking and we're like, holy smokes, Bitcoin to 88k and altcoins to extreme more, that's it, bear market. Or the best opportunity, right? But I think we're pretty tired, guys. I'm tired of altcoins. Let's be honest. Who isn't tired of this crypto bull run with altcoins? I'm happy with Bitcoin. Super happy. I've actually sold some in great profits. I'm happy. Bitcoin's been my best investment throughout the last, since I started, almost 8 years now. Bitcoin's been my best investment, also because I invested more aggressively in Bitcoin and Ethereum, Chainlink, the second and third altcoins. But the rest of the altcoins, guys, I'm sad, I'm depressed, I'm disappointed, right? Who isn't disappointed with altcoins, right? Who isn't? Maybe you bought Zcash a few weeks ago and that's done a 5x. But when you take a look at 99% of the altcoins, they haven't performed too well, right? They haven't performed too well. So Stafford Paul, much love. Nico, Steve, Mike, Stafford One, giving love and power here as always. No alt season. Good morning, Big Don 25. Much love to you, brother. Or sister, I don't know. No alt season, says Rivaldi. Well, we're gonna have to see. Hi Andy, I really hope this SHT will come to 30K and FKN, BNB, other exchanges will be punished. Yes, I mean, let's see, right? Amadeo 777 here. Binance to be punished, will be punished. Other exchanges, full tired, says D. Best buying opportunity since 2 years. That is true, right? Especially your favorite altcoin crypto influencer out there, which there are many, right? Man, when I started the space, there wasn't that many people back in 2020. Well, obviously you had Carl the Moon, Crypto, right? Altcoin Daily. They were kind of relatively big. They were my size back in 2021. But there weren't that many, right? There was a few dozen crypto influencers. My God, now there's thousands of them, guys. It's thousands. And obviously, a lot of them have studied the 4-year cycle theory, including myself. So a lot of them must have said, altcoin season to the moon, we're going to get trillions of dollars coming in. And yeah, I also, I'm in the camp, guys. I am in that camp. So I have had money invested on several altcoins. For the moment, it's not doing very well. If I said yes, I would be lying. And I'm not here to lie to you guys. Some altcoins that I have are draining the value, right? Dollar-wise. And thankfully, Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? Because I also, when we get into this space, we do understand that Bitcoin needs to be our top, right? Bitcoin has to be the number one in your portfolio. Make it over 50% of your portfolio, at least. Some say 60, 70, 80. In my case, it's 60 because I have about 10% Ethereum, 10% Chainlink, and then 20% diversified on over 20 altcoins, which are... Let's see. What's up? CG Beats, much love. Man, there's no new retail or any hype. The market wants to send the existing retail home. That is kind of, that's kind of what's happening. Everything, Jet says here, everything I buy goes down. Does any normal people even make money in crypto and stocks? Well, stocks have been going through the roof. I mean, obviously, depending on where you buy, right? If you're buying at all-time high, then it's inevitable that you are going to be at some point at a loss, right? But stocks have been doing great in the US, most of them, at least when you take a look at the Dow Jones or S&P 500, right? The top 100, NASDAQ, they've been doing great in the last 5 years. But crypto, it's Bitcoin mainly. Bitcoin, I've made about not even a 5x on Bitcoin in the last 3-4 years, right? Round about a 3-4-5x, depending on your average accumulation zone. I was trying to be aggressive at 20K on Bitcoin, and even below 20K, I managed to buy a bit below 20K. It was the moment to be aggressive. A lot of people were calling for Bitcoin to go down to below to $10,000. I'm not sure if anybody here has been in the space in the bear market of 2022. A lot of people were very, very bearish here, especially after the FTX collapse, which marked the low of the bear market. And a lot of people were calling for 10K on the way. I already started buying Bitcoin below $30,000 very aggressively. Very, very aggressively. I was like, I'm getting in here. And, you had several months to buy very aggressively below $30,000. I've just bought very, very aggressively in this zone. Stopped buying as soon as we broke above 30K again. And I'm like, yeah. But you had over a year here to buy very, very aggressively, which was my strategy. So yeah, the crypto that I've made the most, well, for the moment, because I haven't sold everything, I've only sold 25%, but the one that I've made the most is with Bitcoin, right? It's just how this game has treated me. I didn't buy XRP at 40 cents. I bought some Chainlink, which has done too well, but I haven't sold yet. I haven't sold any Chainlink. I kind of want to get rid of all of my bags, guys. I've had it with this. I've had enough. And I'll be pretty okay myself. If I sold everything that I have in crypto right now, I'd actually be okay. I kind of feel, I have those days that I feel like I want to just get out of everything. I've had enough. Who's tired, right? Maybe that's a bullish sign, right? When you just want to throw the towel. I just want to throw the towel, guys. I want to sell all of my Chainlink, which is several thousand. I just want to sell all of my Chainlink. I want to sell, all Ethereum, and I don't want to sell all Bitcoin, but just sell half of, 50% of my Bitcoin's holding. Just sell everything and wait for a crash whenever that happens, 2026, 2027. But we're going to hold on, guys. 4-year cycle theory, October. Come on, guys. It's not over yet. I am a technical analyst. We take into consideration that Bitcoin has moved in a 3-wave structure to the upside, and even on the most local bearish case scenario, getting down below 107k was one of the higher time frame bullish scenarios that we talked about a few weeks ago. It's possible, guys, and this would still be bullish on the macro. ABC flat, get down below 107k, and this is still bullish. Ethereum is looking awesome. There's nothing bearish about this Ethereum rejection from all-time high. I'm holding with conviction. Holding with conviction with the analysis. Right? It seems not to be October, but Rectober. I mean, we started off the first week of October pretty damn. I got a video out that I got bashed, okay, about being Traptober, right? I'm not sure if you guys watched that. That was a bad prediction. I mean, my favorite scenario here was actually coming below 107k, just because it would be healthier to then go to Valhalla. And we even talked about if we rally from here to all-time high, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. And yeah, it was not good. After all, it was not good, right? Who remembers the contracting diagonal, right, that we had here? Where is it? There it is. Who remembers me not liking this to be the low, right? I do not want the price to go to all-time high after this massive rally since April, and for this to be the correction. It's too shallow in time and Fibonacci retracement. It's not good if we get to all-time high from this low. It's not going to be good. And it was not good. It was not good. We got the shakeout. We got the major devastation move down. That was something that we understood could happen, right? We understood that it could happen, come back down very aggressively in that C wave. And in an ABC flat, guys, it is very common that C wave is a destruction phase. Inside of an ABC flat, where you have 3 waves down, 3 waves up, or the other way around, 3 down, 3 up, if it's in an uptrend, you get that devastating liquidation event. And if you look further back, right, throughout, you can arguably discuss it was something similar that happened back in 2023. Correction, move down, big flush, aggressive. This can be counted as an ABC flat. It also can be counted as a multiple 1-2, okay, on spot exchanges, because we didn't claim this higher low, which is disturbing, right? You've got a few scenarios considering Elliot Wave theory. But yeah, this was a big flush, and you can arguably discuss it something very, very similar, right? So yeah, let's it's time. I think it's about time now to go through the levels, through the scenarios. I want to focus Shall we do higher time frame or lower time frame, guys? Let me know. Or shall we go from higher time frame to lower time frame, right? Keep it in the 4-hourly time frame, then zoom in on the 1-hourly 15-minute to look for, you know, intraday scenarios. But I'm going to keep it higher time frame, high probability to still reach all-time highs. Lower time frame, higher probability that we do claim the lows of 107k for first, right, before getting an epic reversal to all-time high, in my opinion. So lower time frame, higher chance to claim this low, and lower time frame, right, higher probabilities to claim this low. Higher time frame, still a good high probability that we do hit all-time high. So, and then we're going to focus in this local mini range to see what the heck is going on. But let me know in the comment section. 15-minute, 1-hour low time frame. Yeah, people want to see the action. All these lower highs are big bear signals, says Jaina. No doubt. Yeah, listen. Look, I mean, this is what we got for the moment, right? Depending on what time frame you're looking at, this is still bullish market structure. This movement from this big correction to the upside is very strong. It's a very strong move up, okay? Very, very strong. The situation that we have here after this pullback and this 3-wave move up is corrective price action. That doesn't mean that we need to go up from here right away. It's still a big range formation, you know, in proportion of the big rally since April. I mean, this is an insane rally. It's insane. When you get these insane rallies, you need some big pullbacks. You know, also looking at time, you need time to reset the market. So that's literally what's happening here, right? That's literally what's happening since that all-time high in August. Obviously, if you go to the 1-hourly time frame, it's not looking good. It's still bearish. It's downtrending. Okay, and the bounce that we have is not looking bullish. This is not a bullish bounce. For this to be bullish, we should have had a 1, 2, 3, continue a bit further up, little consolidation, another wave to the upside, and then start doing this corrective structure. That would have been kind of bullish, right, for continuation up, but that's not the case. We ended up in a 3-wave move to the upside and claimed the last higher low. Yeah, there's nothing bullish about this structure, right? So Diane, or yeah, what's it? Jenna, Dieter. All these lower highs are not good. Yeah, you got a point here. That is totally right. We're downtrending since all-time high. This bounce is not bullish. If you have a corrective bounce in a 3-wave structure claiming the last higher low, the probabilities are higher to fill the wick, at least on Coinbase, okay? The probabilities are actually quite high that we are going to fill this low. That's when it's going to be looking interesting. That's when, you know, I am happy to look for aggressive longs, and I have to take action, especially with the community, to take a decision. And you know, when I take the decision trade, the community will know. They will know, because I trade transparently based on, guys, I'm in. And, you know, I just give I give my signal, right? Not that it is a signal. I'm just saying that I'm in, I'm putting stop loss here. I'm in with 1%, 2%, this leverage. I'm targeting these highs so that they will know when I take action. And this is a patient game, guys. It is really a patient game, especially when you go with, you know, tens of thousands of dollars, which is in my case. So I'm very, I want to make money here, guys. I'm not here to play the gambling up or down. You know, I'm looking for probabilities, and obviously I want to make money, right? So that's the end game here with trading. So being patient is very, very important. We have been bullish for the past 3 years, says Daniel. Very true. Very true. So what if we are entering a bear market regardless of not going to all-time high? I have to say it is true. Look, at the end of the day, who was following here a few weeks ago when we were hitting all-time high last week, right? What day was it? Yeah, last Monday, Sunday, Tuesday. I pointed out that I'm selling some of my spot bag here, 15% total, literally just slightly below all-time high. We need to sell, guys. We need to sell if you have spot bags. Okay, all of these crazy targets and these people that are very well known in the investment industry, such as Raoul Pal and many other ones that are talking about banana zone and up we go to $200,000. Yeah, it is possible, but when you understand that you have been extremely bullish and you've been in a major uptrend structure, in a bull run, you start with the first wave that breaks the bear market. This one right over here. And I actually got a video talking about Elliot Wave theory back here in 2023 when we were, anticipating their 3, 4, 5, right? Get into the bull run, head to all-time high. When we were trading here, I was pretty much confident. Back in 2023, I had a, I'm not sure if I got one here. Where is it? I had the video that I was sharing with you last week, okay, from a live stream back in 2023, which we very much understood, whoever's been a legit follower for 2 years ago, that we were ready for the bull run to begin after this break of structure in 2023. This was highly likely the wave one. Do we hit the 50% Fibonacci, the golden pocket? Doesn't really matter. Considering spot buying, you want to buy as much as you want here in this corrective structure, because this is going to leave the station fast and quick when it goes, right? People that are followers from 2023 do understand that. So, this is eventually where you want to buy as much as you can on your first wave, understanding, hey guys, we're breaking the bear market structure here, right? And we are moving up with a pretty interesting impulse. Price is looking impulsive. On the higher time frame, you need to consider that wave one, and then the third wave is coming. It's going to come, guys, in the next coming months. So what you need to understand, that there's no such thing as up forever, right? And when you consider Elliot Wave theory, there is the multiple 1-2s, multiple 4-5s, right? If you had the biggest move, you can't, we can have a discussion here. I think the biggest one has been with volume after the ETF launch, okay, in January of 2024. This has been your biggest wave considering volume as well. What comes later is just a continuation of your last 4 in 5 waves. Okay, so the biggest movements have happened already on Bitcoin, which is you need to label them inside of your wave 3 already. And what follows next is the end stages of the bull run. Of course, we never know if we are going to have an extended 5th wave, which can always be the case. Sometimes your 5th wave is the one that extends. Is this the case for Bitcoin? Well, that's the discussion, but I want to play the safe game. I want to take some profits all the way up here above 100K, because I understand that, no matter how much I wish for an extended 5th wave, I understand that this could be the end stages, right? Because your wave 3 has literally already happened, right, in the middle. Now we just, still the probabilities based on the information that we have, guys, is still bullish. I have to say, I'm a technical analyst, and I have to try and understand where we are on the charts. And the charts tell me, based on the information that we have, that, this is still corrective price action from this rejection. We got that 3-wave move down. We were very bullish in this zone. We just were aware of claiming the low and then going up, or going up from here. 3-wave move up. It's not good to finish a bull run like this, guys. You know, this is not. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that we will likely see all-time high potentially before the end of the year. When I will be in doubt, I'll tell you what, when I will be in doubt of the bull run, you know, this being the all-time high and we're entering a bear market, is when we complete this 5-wave structure that could be completed in the next few days, right? As soon as we claim that low on Coinbase, we are going to be having an impulsive move down, right? We're going to have an impulsive move down. When you have such a big move with high volume and you have the dead cat bounce and you claim the low, that's it. You're 4 and you're 5, right? Little grind down, 1, 2, big move, dead cat bounce, test the lows. That's your first impulsive move down, right? That we've had, you know, in aggressive impulsive move down in this bull run, right? It's the most aggressive one, right? We have not had such an aggressive impulsive move down. All of the movements were looking very, very corrective. Even this correction right there, you know, no major big impulse. This can be the first big major impulse, which is gonna, you know, we're gonna be careful with the bounce, okay? Inevitably, we are gonna get that bounce. That bounce needs to be powerful. What do I mean by powerful? Well, you know, you want to see that. You know, what we could be anticipating here is test the lows, boom, 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 little bounce, and test the lows again. A bit of a 3-drive pattern right there, right? Which would basically be your 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. You got an impulse down. The movement up needs to be. We are looking for a 3-wave anyway, right? I think the market makers are going to make it tricky regardless, because if it, you know, it will probably form like a 3-wave move up, right? Maybe 116, 120K. And then you get that deep move down. And you're thinking it's a bear flag, bear market, here we go. And it ends up being a 1, 2, 1, 2. So we're going to have to be going level by level here, guys. Because if this move up looks impulsive and this movement down looks corrective, it's extremely choppy. We are going to be betting very hard that this is a double 1, 2 and it's going to break in a 3rd wave later on, right? Throughout the end of the year, maybe entering into December or so, right? Level by level, wave by wave. What can I say right now? The probabilities are higher that we do claim 107K. And the reason is simple. This bounce that we've had from Friday lows is not bullish. So if this bounce is a 3-wave structure, at some point, despite any, whatever price action happens in this zone, complex WXY, whatever, right? You are looking for the price to roll down to hit that low. Once that low is taken, it is in your best interest to start looking for a reversal. Okay? It is in your best interest to start looking for a reversal. This is why we were talking about, you know, do we hit the lows? Dead cat bounce, hit some resistance, the point of control of this range, for example. We're going to have to go level to level here, as explained, right? And then we roll over and we test the lows again. And that's the one that gets the reversal bounce in an impulse, right? We're really going to have to go level by level. But a kind of a 3-drive pattern here makes sense. Also, when we consider Elliot Wave theory, 1, 2, 1, 2. You got 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. But it's going to be looking interesting as soon as we claim this low. That's when we're going to... I'm not sure if you have a strategy to build a swing trade, or maybe you just want to go wait for the sign of strength and an impulse later on, right? If this movement up is going to be a 5-wave structure and then you correct down, very choppy, looks very corrective, maybe that's when you want to join the party, right? For that 3rd wave breakout. It really, you know, level by level here. But I think we do still have several days here on the formation. And I'm just waiting for the low to be hit, guys, if I'm honest. If you want to get into these local SFPs, these lower highs, it's not a bad option. As mentioned, you just need to take a look at the 5-minute time frame, and literally, as mentioned, SFP of the range lows from Sunday, whoop, SFP of the mini range highs right there, sniper short, we already down $1,000. In a range, your best option to consider risk management is local SFPs. SFPs of the lows, SFPs of the range highs. I was even considering an SFP from these highs. This is a good SFP level. Because, I mean, if the price were to come up here, I would say that this is likely going to SFP. Because it's also the value area high of this entire range. Right? So, yeah, I mean, that's a good short. So in a range, sweep the highs, sweep the lows game, right? When we take into consideration directional, the directional bias that we have is coming down to very likely hit that low on Coinbase. Probabilities are higher that we do get down there based on the 3-wave bounce that we have here from the Friday drop. This is not looking bullish, unfortunately, guys. It's not a bullish bounce, especially when you come down and claim the lows later. Some might think it's a head and shoulder right now doing the drawing. A little bit of a head and shoulder, right? Pattern. I mean, head and shoulders, you literally prefer them to be at it's a reversal pattern, right? So you would want it at the end of an uptrend, right after a major drop. Anyway, probabilities are still higher to take those lows, guys, for the moment. So, yeah, we're going to dive in right now on, somebody said 15-minute time frame. Most of the people said lower time frame. I think people are a little bit tired on the higher time frame based on probabilities on Elliot Wave theory. Higher time frame, nothing has changed. Still looking at this to either be an A, B, and C. The C wave has not finished because we haven't finished the impulse. It seems like that we need to claim that low again at least once to consider that we have a completed 5-wave down. We could have another 4 and 5. That's something that I am paying very close attention. So we want to be very, very careful here eventually. If we were to rally and overshoot the 117k, which is above the golden pocket, that increases the probability that this could be the low, or that you're likely not going to break down successfully if you come and revisit later. And what we would be looking at here is a sideways WXY, because you're invalidating the impulsive down, right? If you get to the golden pocket, from the last lower highs to the low, you are invalidating an impulse. Your impulse gets invalidated if you get above golden pocket here, above 117k preferably, right? And you're just looking for a larger sideways complex correction. You just realize that the probabilities are, okay, this could be the low, and that, sooner rather than later, we are going to be heading to all-time high, but we need to get up there first to invalidate the impulse. That's not a scenario that I'm looking at, so I think we can throw this in the bin for the moment, because locally, the probabilities are actually taking out the low. So it's kind of bold right now to say, if we do move from here without taking out this low, which we just, $4,000 away, will invalidate the bearish case. Well, with this bounce, it does not look too good. It's a 3-wave bounce, guys, and we claim the higher low. This is not bullish. Let's go through the comment section and we'll talk about the levels and a little bit of a few trading plans that look pretty interesting. They are watching. Who's watching? I don't think they want you on the bus, Andy. Who's that? Who's watching? Imagine market makers watching different technical analysts and traders on YouTube. This guy's saying we're going down, so let's pump the market, right? Every trader has that in the feeling, right? Every time I go long, the price goes against me. Every time I go short, they pump it. They are after my stop losses and my liquidations. It's very, very, very common saying from a lot of unexperienced traders, right? And back dumping, Victor, yeah, they are watching. So did you sell your bags? It seems to be everybody is thinking the same thing. We go lower before we go higher. I think the opposite usually happens higher, says Mario. I mean, we are not that far away of coming down to this low, okay? It's all about the probabilities of the structure here. It's not because I think a lot of people seem like they want to have their reversal from here already. The flush has happened, right? Maybe we only fill part of the wick and we already reverse from here. I'm not sure. I think there's a very mixed sentiment. Let's ask the community. Let's ask here on a poll, guys. Bear with me, okay? Start a poll. Do we test the lows from Friday on spot at 107k? I mean, because some future exchanges they've gone down to 101k, guys, which, yes or no? Yes or no? I think we asked the same thing. Did we ask the same thing yesterday? Okay, yes or no? Just say yes or no. Just say yes or no. Let me know the votes, guys. Because the local bearish scenario for me is only just testing the low, right? Getting beneath the low. And I believe that a successful breakdown from the lows, you can go to 106, 107, 105, 104 maybe. That would be really pushing it. But I don't see a collapse from this low. I don't see that happening. So question is, the exact low. And this is why you need to take confluence levels into consideration, which we are going to do right now. Obviously, we do have, the main reason of these bounces is that high volume node that we have here, right? We did have a very, very good high volume node on this range that we had, right? This big high volume node from this large consolidation, which is kind of what's holding the price. I have to say, there's not much beneath us. There is a big range, of course, of volume. Yeah, there is a big block of volume. I mean, this is an order block on the higher time frame. So there's a lot of volume beneath 107k. So 106, 105. We've got a lot of support down here. Let's take a look at naked point of controls, because I do have. I mean, this wick is ridiculous. I hate these wicks. They just break the chart. That's why I'm moving to Bybit, moving to Coinbase. Sorry. Yeah, on Bybit, which I do prefer for volume profile, you kind of have the the range point of control here at 105k. We wicked beneath it on Friday. This is ridiculous. But yeah, there's big solid volume down here. Anyway, let's take a look at the votes right away, and I'll explain a little bit of the levels as we do smash up the like button altogether. But I'm going to give a little bit of a lower time frame, levels, what I am taking into consideration. Right away, okay. I think we just want to zoom in on the 15-minute. We've gone through that. So for the moment, yeah, let's do 15-minute. Let's do 15-minute. and focus on this range. That's what we're going to do. I think people want to day trade. People want to scalp and day trade, I would assume, right? Little movements of $2,000, maybe $1,000 to $3,000. Let's do that. Let's do that and get some levels inside of this range. Okay. Quickly through comment section. Staffer 1, no cycle. It's only ETF for now. BTC is new gold. Absolutely legend. Victor, always a bull. I die buying, says Victor. Very good, my man. Corey, just buy the most at 107k-ish. Maybe save 10% for a test around 100k-ish. Not a bad strategy. Not a bad strategy. I mean, if we were to nuke and go into a bear market, we just have to hold on and buy more, right? On the way down. I am actually happy. Love you, Andy Jerome. Much love to you, brother. I love you too. The thing is, I'll be messaging. Yeah, this is for the thumbnails, my man. I'll get back to you. Not that interested. Okay. Not that interested for the moment, guys. My man, Indian Beast. Okay. Sharing some thumbnails. Yeah, I'm not a fan of these flashy thumbnails. Okay. My thumbnails are pretty basic. It is what it is. Hi, Andy. Can you check received my super chat? Oh, sorry, my man. Let me go quickly and see where's the super chat. Oh, my man. I'm so sorry. Teabag. Thanks for the €2. Hi, Andy. Would you check Super US dollar tether, please? Wow. Super US dollar tether. Oh, my goodness. This is a gaming one, right? I think Elliot Trades is behind this, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this had a massive hype throughout 2023 and 2024. A lot of people don't want to know about these altcoins, but I can already tell you, yeah, we've swept the lows of the range, but could this be the buying zone? The SFP from Friday, we might form a higher low here. It is very common when you have a big range. I didn't, you know, my prediction on ICP did not play out. We went down to the lows of the bear market. So, you know, what can I say about these altcoins? These crypto projects, Super. I think it's a gaming project, if I'm not mistaken. But what can we say? You swept the lows of a major range from 2024 and 2025. Many times, this does potentially mark a bottom when you have such a major liquidation event like this. You sweep up the lows and then the price can heal. But it's an altcoin. Super. I've seen too many altcoins just not respecting the lows, trying to hold the lows, but end up failing anyway later on. Especially this cycle. We've seen so many projects, even OG projects that have been building for years, just failing completely to hold major support levels of the last couple of years. It's what's happening, right? And it might be true, those that say just buy Bitcoin or Ethereum or very good solid projects. Is this a super solid project? I don't know. I mean, let's take a look at it. No hate. Superverse. I'm not an altcoin researcher. Gaming United. Yeah, it's a gaming project, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure if no hate on Elliot Trades, okay? Will gaming come back stronger than ever? I have no idea. What I can say that this many times on an asset does provide such a major liquidity, sweep of the lows, an SFP many times. So yeah, it might be the moment that this is the low, right? Nobody likes when it's all messy and it's all looking doom and gloom, right? Nobody likes these lows after big rejection. Nobody likes this, but you know, a lot of the times it does provide a good a good buying opportunity. Okay, that's what I can say. I wish I had a crystal ball and I can, you know, stroke you and say everything's going to be okay. But we seriously don't know. I've seen too many altcoins fail this bull run. Some major big support levels. So what can we say? It's a nothing project, to be honest. Okay, well, it is gaming. Alex Becker and Elliot Trades, right? Gaming must come back. I still have some engine. Yeah, true. I have some Illuvium. I bought Illuvium, I don't know, $25 or $30. It's really gone. Oi, mate, we're about to pump in it. We're about to pump in it, mate. We had a nice little SFP of the lows of Sunday, just today. We are struggling with the mini range highs at the moment. We just got a little SFP, a little drop of $1,000. I would have to say level to level, legends. Okay, so could this be the sweep of the lows of the range? Just so we go. Right now, this was one attempt. I would have stop loss at break even already here. I wouldn't play around because we do have a chance of breaking the highs of the range and going to the next mini range. This mini range high looks interesting. $113,500 to $114,000. This is my next zone of interest. Okay, this would have been one. I have to say, this was a quick scalp long. You had to be in front of the chart, have your alerts. You know, you had to be there, right, for this long. Would I long now? Absolutely not. I wouldn't long or short now. I mean, this is a zone where you either sniper trade the highs and the lows, or you don't get in the middle. I mean, that's what I understand on this range, on ranges. This is a sniper long. You take the mini range highs and you take profit. You leave some open, 20-30%. If you manage to form a higher low and go to the next range high, then you take more profits here and you consider a short. The main reason why this short looks very interesting above these highs, it's because it's the value area high of the entire range, and it's the golden pocket from the range highs at 116k from Monday to the lows, right? So golden pocket is the bomb diggity Fibonacci retracement, right? That's the most respected. And with the new low that we have here, from the high to the low, we do have golden pocket just above these highs for the SFP. So it's a good SFP level. I like it. You also have the value area high of this trading zone, right? If the fixed volume profile wants to load, it might load here on Coinbase, right? If you consider Coinbase low, golden pocket's coming slightly lower. It's just a good SFP. Good SFP right over here. Value area high. Boom, boom. When we consider Elliot Wave theory, it's just the best level, guys. It's the best level of confluence, liquidity grab. It's a good swing failure pattern zone. It's the best zone for the short. And the best zone for the longs is down here, in my opinion, if you did not catch this SFP from the lows of Sunday. So either we're going to get up here, or either we're going to come down here. So what do? We wait, right? We wait. In this middle of the range, this was the only long opportunity eventually, SFP. I don't want to do anything here, guys. I do not know what we're going to do. I would say that we got a good chance that we come down to the lows later on. So if we were to come up, I would be interested in the short on an SFP. I'm shorting as we go down, not as we go up. So that's an interesting short. Okay, we got golden pocket from the highs to the lows. We got the value area high of this entire range. And we also have the range being quite bearish, because we have a 3-wave move to the upside, bounce, higher low, and this bounce up. We had a lower high, cheeky lower high right there. So we got a move down and a move up, lower high, and another move down. So we need to kind of build up what's forming here. Do we have a zigzag down, zigzag up, zigzag down? Could we form a flat here? That's interesting. We form a WXY. Good chance that we're forming a WXY here, guys. I like this. I like this potential Elliot Wave sideways WXY scenario where you have a zigzag in your wave Y, you got a zigzag down in your wave X, and you form a flat in your wave Y, and then you come down to finally claim the lows. That's a good trade setup. You got Elliott Wave theory confluence, you got the value area high confluence, and you got the golden pocket confluence from the highs to the lows. 7-8 golden pocket, 7-8 value area high. Yeah, this looks very interesting. I would want to short on the rejection from either the 7-8, the golden pocket, SFP from the highs. If we do not SFP from the highs, I would be targeting the 7-8 Fibonacci. And it might even be the 1.618 extension. I wouldn't think so, but yeah. 1.618 extension for an expanding flat is sitting with the 7-8 Fibonacci at 114.5. 114.5 is going to be muy interesante. Sniper traders, put that in the trading plan, because this could be the high and it could get a drop of $6,000-7,000 in a few days. It might take a bit of time, a bit of choppiness. We don't expect it to go straight down, but based on Fibonacci extension, ABC flat, WXY, value area high of this entire range since Sunday, right, since Friday drop. Golden pocket to the 7-8 fib from the move down that we've had in the last few days. We've got something here, guys. We do have something. We are mapping the situation to look for opportunities. This could be interesting. This could be interesting after sweeping these highs of Tuesday, Wednesday. You know, you're ranging. There is high probability in coming down to this low. So when you put everything together here, guys, this is what we do as technical analysts and traders. We try and map the situation of what can be developed. We understand that there's higher probabilities in claiming this low because we have a 3-wave move up. There's lots of longs entering at the lows of the range, which is not good. And we understand the confluence, value area high of the range. We have 3-wave up, 3-wave down, up, down, up for a flat to finish Y. We know there's high probability in coming low. If we get this movement up, it might be your chance if we get that swing failure pattern or rejection from the 7-8. So either SFP or either 7-8. Those are your levels that you need to take a decision on the rejection. I'm going to be ready for that scenario. If I'm not sleeping, of course. So it's a plan. I like that plan, guys. I like that plan. It's a good plan. Confluence, Elliott Wave theory. We understand the probabilities of coming down to the low. So if we pump, there's a good chance that we could reject, and we need to reject at the confluence levels mentioned, right? So I like the plan. That's the best shorting zone, unless you shorted here, this local double top locally from this mini range. So you got mini ranges here. So you want to try and get into the SFPs of these little ranges, right? These are your first attempts maybe to come down to the lows. If you break up here, I would want to get it above this range. That would be my next attempt. If this doesn't work out, I mean, you're already late. Price dropped $500-600. If you did not catch that SFP high, I wouldn't get in now. Maybe with a small position if you want to get, there's higher probability in claiming the low here, so that would be your target, but the range could continue. There is a chance for a flat here. It's the best plan that I have right now for a short, because this would have been one, but if you break out, this is the best shorting plan in my opinion. Okay, I mean, it is a pump of 2,000 plus, right? Almost $3,000. Not sure if we'll get that. Let's see. And the plan for me for the longs is, we did form this SFP from the lows of Sunday. What can I say? Oh man, I need to be a little bit more organized here with my drawing. I know lots of people want scalps, they want day trades. I think that that's the best scenario that I have. Today, your long setup would have been a SFP from the lows of Sunday. It was just the clearest one, right? It's the clearest one right there. On Coinbase, we did get a little, a bit of a wick down of a few $100s. Would I be interested in a long if we move down from here? No. I would be only interested in hitting the lows on Coinbase. Hitting the lows on Coinbase. Man, what's going on? The drawing, why isn't it going back? The only if you did not get into the SFP from Sunday lows, the only long I would be interested in is at least coming down to the lows from Friday on Coinbase at 107k, which is, it's kind of interesting because, I mean, we are analyzing both charts here just because we need to. On Bybit, we have this low. When we take a look at the wick low to the dead cat bounce high, Golden Pocket is at the 107k. That's literally where we finished on Coinbase, on spot mainly. So it's like, can the Golden Pocket bounce and form a double bottom? I would consider that setup, guys. I would consider it. If that is lost, if we do drop down below the lows here and we do not SFP, which is a lot of the times it's just not a clean SFP. Sometimes it will just do this and this. Sometimes it will do this. Little bounce, another move down and then leaves, right? We're gonna have to see. But as mentioned, the probabilities are high, guys, that we do get down to the lows of Friday, at least on spot, which is around about 107k. There is high probability, and the simple reason is this 3-wave move up. There's nothing bullish about this move with the information that we have. The only bullish thing would be a double zigzag up, and you're forming a contracting diagonal to the upside here, which and eventually, man, I don't know what's going on. My Tradingview is going absolutely nuts. It's never happened to me before. It's glitching, it's going crazy. No sé. It's kind of okay. Oh my, yeah, I'm gonna have to do analysis on the desktop, guys, because on browser it's going a bit nuts. It's doing crazy things. I'm gonna have to ditch the browser and do it on desktop for live streams. It's not. I've cleaned history. Anyway, that's a little bit of the plan here, legends. Okay, I want the lows on Coinbase on spot to be claimed It is the highest probability anyway, regardless. It is the highest probability that we do get down here. And that's when I'll be interested in considering long positions, okay? For shorts, this local SFP would have been your shot. Very locally here. If the price manages to bounce, as explained, these lower highs look extremely interesting. You have the WXY in a flat possibility, value area high of this range since the Friday drop, and the golden pocket to the 7/8 from this high to the low. Interesting liquidity grab above 113.6k. Interesting. 114k, right? It could get choppy, it could get messy, but it's the best shorting option. My man, oh, let's take a look at the super chat here. Daniel, thanks for the $10, my man. I'll have a beer with that. Would you be so kind as to take a look at SKL? Thank you for all you do. Much love, Daniel. Thank you very much. FKL. Let's take a look at that. FKL. SKL. SKL. What's this crypto? Woo. We got a green box here and a little wedge from back in the day. Get that out of the way. SKL, what can we say? Scale. It's literally got down to the lows of the bear market like many other cryptos, right? I would say that inevitably it should be getting some kind of a relief. It does look like that we have a little bit of a contracting diagonal here. I'm not sure if the future is looking bright for this, but we do have a 5-wave move down in a contracting diagonal, as you can see here. So it is true that by the looks of things, coming down to the bear market lows, I'm not sure if there's going to be much selling pressure down here. Massive liquidation on Friday, bear market lows, big rejection from 2024. You know, you are looking for you are looking for these kind of bounces. You can see that we're contracting, right? The movements that we're having down and the bounces are contracting, and we have a 5-wave mover, which really says to me that there is a good chance that at some point you're at least going to get above 0.5 cents, right? Regardless if it will be a pretty epic one, but I would be very skeptical that this is going to hit this high. I think this is kind of one of those cryptos that is going to die off maybe. But for sure, when we consider the waves, the rejection, testing the bear market lows again with the liquidation event, I would say that, you know, you are looking for some kind of a relief in the next couple of months. Pretty significant relief. If that altcoin season had to come, well, almost everything, you know, moves up, right? If we are going to see it, guys. But I'm kind of almost throwing the towel, guys. Almost throwing the towel on altcoins. And just focus on Bitcoin, focus on Ethereum, which is looking very bullish. Okay, we can dive into Ethereum, guys. I'm looking to trade these ones, okay? I haven't got into a big trade for over a month now. And, you know, only a little day trade on Bitcoin last week. And that was it, guys. I've been actually not trading at all. But, you know, there are some scenarios. There are some levels that the pro community are very much aware as well of, you know, levels of interest, just in case they are in front of the computer and they have the alerts set. But I'm looking for bigger moves. And the only day trade long that I got in was last Thursday on Bitcoin. It was a very nice technical day trade, which managed to make $5,000, which is, you know, pretty good. It's all good. But yeah, Ethereum's the one that looks awesome, guys. If you want, I'm gonna cover Ethereum right now because Ethereum looks incredibly good. Okay. Nothing has changed much in the last few days. I mean, obviously after the movement down, but Ethereum, in my personal opinion, looking at Ethereum BTC chart, is going to outperform Bitcoin in the next coming weeks. I see Ethereum hitting all-time high, and Bitcoin, not even halfway through of reaching all-time high, right? Even if Bitcoin pumps to 118 or 120k in the next couple of weeks after testing the lows on Coinbase, right, or whatever, this rally, the bounce that we get on Bitcoin will be very far away from all-time high. And I believe, based on the Ethereum BTC chart, that Ethereum will outperform Bitcoin. And this little bounce on Bitcoin will be a bounce to all-time high on Ethereum. So Ethereum, in my opinion, will be reaching all-time high, and Bitcoin won't. There will be a moment in the next coming weeks that we're likely going to see that. Ethereum's at all-time high, but Bitcoin is not. What does that mean? Well, it means that we are seeing the money flow, right? We're seeing that Bitcoin's ranging. It's got a major drop. It gets a little bounce. Attention goes to Ethereum. I think many big players understand that there's a good chance that Ethereum breaks all-time high again with a little bit of power, because Ethereum's only tested the all-time high of 2021. And with the structure that we have and the correction that we have, which is very corrective, very corrective price action, we are leaning on a new all-time high at some point in the next few weeks. So I'm just going to throw it here onto you guys. There is a good chance that this could be the low for Ethereum. Okay. However, there is a chance that we claim this low, especially if Bitcoin drops at 107k. So I prefer that the price drops below 3,900, and that's where I'm going to be paying attention. 3,800, 3,700. We got a bit of a point of control in this zone from this consolidation. I'll be paying attention to this area, so we are holding this zone, because there is a good chance that Ethereum has finished this movement down, because you have this movement, boom, 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 big leg down, and this bounce, almost got to this lower high. So we're not considering this a wave 4. This is a finished, structure. And this does have a very good chance that it could be a 5-wave move up. And this, for the moment, is looking very corrective. So preferably we lose those lows. In between golden pocket, maybe 7-8 could be a little bit aggressive. It's going to be an interesting area for a higher low. And that's what I'm looking at with the legends. And, I will be letting them know if we do take action on that trade. But we eventually understanding that Bitcoin has a good chance that it comes down to 107k. You can't be bullish on altcoins when you understand that Bitcoin has a good chance to roll down to the lows at 107k, right? So if you are looking for Bitcoin to drop $4,000 from current price levels, you are going to see these different altcoins drop as well, right? It's just inevitable, right? Bitcoin's the leader. So I do expect, Ethereum to drop $200-300, as I do expect Bitcoin to hit those lows. So we're going to have to be watching carefully Bitcoin. If Bitcoin gets to below 107k, and Ethereum's at 3,800, 3,700, as Bitcoin is hitting the low from Friday already, that's going to be good. That's going to give a good chance that Ethereum can form a higher low if Bitcoin is hitting 107k, 106k if you wish, and Ethereum is in this zone while Bitcoin's down there. because we are looking for Bitcoin to get that, possible bounce, be it 106 or 105K. So that's going to be quite good. However, if Bitcoin is down at 108K and Ethereum's already at 107K, 3,700, then we understand that Bitcoin has an extra drop of $2,000-$3,000, which, if we're already down here and Bitcoin's halfway through, not hitting 107K yet, that means that Ethereum could get that extra push down. So we want to be cautious. Really want to take Bitcoin into consideration a lot. I mean, imagine all of these different altcoins when we talked about the possible price of Bitcoin moving down to 107K. This was last week. There is a chance that we break down here and give or take a couple of weeks in a C wave. Imagine analyzing all of the altcoins that look very bullish. They're in an uptrend. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Atom went to zero on Binance. Atom went to zero, literally zero. Check Atom on Tradingview on Binance, guys. It went to zero. No matter how bullish your altcoin looks, Bitcoin will break it in half. It will break it in half. You can use Elliot Wave theory, order flow, Fibonacci, moving Bollinger averages, whatever you want, guys. If Bitcoin falls, everything will fall, or almost everything, right? We did have Zcash that was doing its own thing, but 99% of them, right? So when I'm looking at Ethereum to trade Ethereum, I'm looking at Bitcoin first, right? Any altcoin, and the only altcoin that I'm trading is Ethereum mainly in the last couple of months. But imagine all of those people that were having long every altcoin or buy every altcoin, guys, because it's Q4 and altcoin season is bubbling up. And I didn't do any of that. When we understand that Bitcoin can drop down to 107K in an ABC flat last week, altcoins will be destroyed, which they got destroyed, guys. They did get destroyed. So Bitcoin is number one, guys. No matter how bullish your altcoin is, analyze Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin doing? If Bitcoin has a chance to get down to the lows with high probability at 107K, that's a move of $4,000. That's, give or take a 2-3% move down. Altcoins, yeah, they're going to get another 5-10% move down. Not the high cap ones, but low mid caps. Right? I guess you guys agree with me, right? You guys agree. Hello, I'm late. Suzanne, much love to you. Thanks for joining. Not expecting a drop, but when we do, I'll add in the shorts already. Suzanne, shorting the market, making bank. Buy the CZ FUD. Kolanduke. CZ is a crook. Yeah, people are not happy with Binance. My goodness, it was seriously a manipulation, guys. There's no doubt about it. You cannot have ADA going to 60 cents on most of the exchanges, and on Binance it went down to 26 cents. It's like, come on, what the heck's going on? It just took advantage of the drop. It's all computer, it's all numbers, it's all fluff, it's not real. If you can press a button and make the wick go to 70% lower, right? Make sure that on the event that we have on Friday, right? This is CZ. Make sure that on the event on Friday, we wick down to, 50% more, okay? Just put it on the system, and because there's lots of liquidity there, and we want that liquidity. So just make sure that coordinate it with the Friday drop and just make it a little bit extra move down, okay? Because there's lots of liquidity down there. So just I'm talking with his developers. Please do that. Right? In a nutshell. Binance has always been sketchy. You know what? I haven't used Binance since 2018. It was one of my first ones. I used Coinbase first of all. then Binance, and then went fully on mainly Bybit. I did use BitMEX as well for futures. That was crazy. Super bad platform. And then flipped to Bybit straight away. And then tried Femex and these other ones. These ones work absolutely great, guys. Weeks, it's nothing got to do. These exchanges that come out here in the last few years, they are absolutely banging, guys. You get the best deals as well. Weeks, Bluffin, they're the greatest at the moment. That just require an email and a password, and they work really well. Bluffin's doing an awesome job. They are transparent. They do have lots of liquidity at the moment, so there's no spreads. The fees are great, and you do actually get 25% discount fee, okay, while you sign up down below, guys. Check out the links, okay, for Bluffin. They are an affiliate link, of course. I do make a small commission, but you get the best deals. Bluffin's with the iPhone 17 right now, depending on the volume that you move, right? I think you need to move 10 million volume to enter and to possibly get that iPhone 17, which is not that much, to be honest. Anyway, you got those links down below, okay? Bluffin, Weeks, and they work great. You do get access to the VIP as well on Telegram, which is where I'm sharing, my next setup. Okay, for either Bitcoin or Ethereum. Very patient, but when it triggers, it triggers, and I'll let the people know. Okay, so you get access. Send me a DM if you do sign up to Bluffin or Weeks. You do a minimum deposit, we'll get you into the VIP. Okay, and if you want more education from Devolt, myself, video updates. Devolt's very busy with the pro community. You got the pro community, of course, okay, which is down below. Anybody that wants to take their trading education to the next level, pro community with the rest of the people is the place that you want to be surrounded with, right? Like-minded people that are learning. Will it go lower than 107K? Well, I do expect it to go below 107K, okay? We do expect that. I do expect it. Interesting zone for Ethereum is like in 3,700 to 3,900. That's like the sweet spot zone there. Gonna have to take some decisions here if we do hold on. We don't want to catch a falling knife, of course. But BTC USD, we're gonna have to check the reaction. Take action, take responsibility. I do not have limit longs. This could nuke down to 88K, as someone said in the comment section. I don't know. It's all about taking decisions. Reaction, decision. Are you going to long the reaction or are you not? Are you going to take responsibility on taking that trade with good risk management? Or are you going to go all in, and if you get stopped out, you're going to lose 50% of your account? I might get in with 1-2%. Some people might go all in, and if they stopped out, they're going to get wrecked. It's all about taking action, taking decisions at certain levels based on the reaction, and managing risk, guys. There's nothing more to add on that. So will we drop much lower? I think it's not going to drop much lower. What I am expecting here is that this drop does not go to lower prices. I do expect one reaction, this is very common, guys, right? Sweep the lows, get a reaction. Sweep a major higher time frame low, get a reaction. Same here on Friday. Sweep these lows, major reaction bounce, guys. We bounced almost $10,000 on the weekend, right? It was an insane bounce. So it's all there's a good chance of getting a reaction bounce from the lows on Coinbase. There's a good chance that reaction bounce can come down again. The main reason why is because you got a 1-2 here and a possible 1 and 2. So you got a big move down. This is possibly your fourth wave. You probably have 2 more 4, 5, 4 and 5, because you have, hang on a minute, right? Because you have a 1, 2, 1 and 2. So So maybe you have a 4 and 5, you get a bounce, people get excited, go extremely long here, and then boom, sweep them out, and then that's the one that bounces. So a triple bottom is going to be interesting. Can reach 106, 105, maybe 104. Just gonna have to steadily look for, you know, the zones, the levels, the reactions. I will let the people know inside of the VIP what I am doing. I did talk about a few scenarios. It might not get that bounce, guys, but we talked about a short. If we were to sweep these highs before taking out the lows, I think it's a good SFP, value area high, point of control. We got a WXY sideways corrective structure, but it might not happen. But this would be the best short zone unless you got into the local SFP. But there's a good chance we take the low, okay? Good chance we're looking for the Coinbase spot lows to be taken, because the bounce is a 3-wave structure, and as we do come down to hit this higher low, there's just a good chance that this low is going to be taken, okay? Just so you understand that, because maybe some people are like, I'm longing, I'm going to long here, it's bullish. The flush happened with this local structure. There is a good chance we take that low, okay? Just so you're aware, if you're longing in this zone, you might be in the negative. You might be underwater for a while, maybe, right? If you're happy with that, then that's okay. But if you're not, I would, you know, look for longs later on, either on the reclaim of the lows here, right? SFP, and just be aware that you could form one more low as well, because you got 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. It's a possibility when we take into consideration that. Ethereum's looking good. Interesting zone, 3,700 to 3,900. I like the Elliot Wave theory. I like the levels. Ethereum's looking good. I mean, locally it's not looking good. We are looking for lower, but on the higher time frame, I'm looking at higher time frame, right? Locally, yeah, Bitcoin and Ethereum do look like they're going to get down below 3,900, 3,800 potentially, and Bitcoin 107,000. Legends, thank you very much for joining today. It has been awesome having you all here. We not much news. I think there's something here. Will BTC end the year above 150k? From Michael Saylor a few days ago. Well, this was actually a long time ago. I don't know why I've got this still here. Don't fade October, says Lark Davis. Well, yeah. This was just about a week before the crash. There we go. Damn. Negative funding rate. That's kind of good for the long term. Short term, yes, we might get a bit more downside, as explained as well with Elliot Wave theory, but funding rate is turning negative, which is actually good. It's kind of good. We were in fear, extreme fear a few days ago. Nice reset. I think the fear needs to extend a little bit, test those lows, which is kind of expected. Stay safe, legends. If you want to join and know my strategy, know where I'm entering the trades, I will let the people know when I take action, okay? That is in the VIP or the pro community. To join the VIP, it's super simple. Join Bluffing or Weeks, which you only need an email and a password. Nothing else, no identification. You get the best bonuses available, and you can join with a minimum deposit on the VIP. Just send me a message in the Telegram. Much love, legends. High probability we test the lows locally from Friday, at least on spot. And on the higher time frame, it's not looking that bad. We still have a good chance that we hit all-time high before the end of the year. Thank you very much. Much love to everybody. And I'll see you in the next one.